Hi and welcome to another episode of the Super 8s game in HDFC Life presents Jeet ka Insurance Cricket Quiz.
I was born on the day India won the World Championship of Cricket, on the exact day, right?
Wow, wonderful, wonderful to have these two amazing teams here with us. We come to the very last question of this quiz. Two amazing teams with us here in a neck-on-neck contest that's going on at this moment. The two teams are tied. Play carefully. We're going into the last question. This is like the last ball of a super over.
World Cup is full throttle and so are we. Welcoming you to HDFC Life presents Jeet ka Insurance Cricket Quiz. And for that, we definitely need our own quiz master, Mr. Venkesh Srinivasan. Hello sir, welcome. How are you?
Thank you, very well. Thank you.
Well, now the floor is yours. Let's have it.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi and welcome to another episode of the Super 8s game in HDFC Life presents Jeet ka Insurance Cricket Quiz. The HDFC Life presents Jeet ka Insurance Cricket Quiz has been an open to all cricket quiz held across the country. We had more than 1,500 teams take part in an online prelim, and from there we have 8 teams who have qualified to be here and face off against each other in 4 exciting Super 8s episodes. The World Cup fever is here, and just mirroring that, we have these 4 exciting Super 8s contests, followed by 2 semi-finals and then a grand finale, which is going to see the champion of the first ever edition of HDFC Life presents Jeet ka Insurance Cricket Quiz. Time now to meet our 2 teams who are going to face off against each other in this episode of the quiz. Welcome to HDFC Life presents Jeet ka Insurance Cricket Quiz. Let's meet team number 1 in today's quiz. They call themselves Qurious Minds with a Q instead of the C. They are Roshan and Hariharan. Welcome and all the best. Welcome. Thank you. All the best. To take on the Qurious Minds as team number 2 in today's quiz are Nat and team. Please welcome Mitra and Ramesh. All the very best. All the very best. Take your seats. Time to get right on with it. As we go ahead with this quiz, we'll start by talking to the contestants a little bit, getting to know them, and then go straight into the quiz. Right? As we go ahead with this episode of HDFC Life presents Jeet ka Insurance Cricket Quiz, time to meet the teams. Qurious Minds, please introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Roshan.
Hi, I'm Hariharan. We are from Coimbatore.
Okay, tell us a little bit about your cricketing fandom. How long have you been watching cricket? Have you played cricket?
I played with gully cricket basically, and I started following cricket from 2003-04 when I was 4 years old.
And you?
I haven't played anything in cricket professionally. Like I've been following cricket from 2005.
And who are your favorite players?
Yuvraj Singh.
Okay.
My favorite player is Dale Steyn.
Dale Steyn to Yuvraj Singh. Within the team, you have a nice bowler-batsman combination. Let's hope that comes good for you, Qurious Minds. All the best to you. Let's meet Nat and team and first understand this team name. And there's a little story behind this team name.
The story is I'm the team in Nat and team just to make up the numbers because all the heavy lifting is going to be done by my teammate. My name is Mitra Varun. I'm from Bangalore.
And the famous Nat of Nat and team.
He might be infamous by the end of this round, but yeah, I'm Ramesh and I'm from Chennai.
Ramesh from Chennai, Mitra from Bangalore, and you guys' cricket fandom started exactly when?
As always, like as most Indians, right from very young. So mid 90s, so around the 96 World Cup is when it started, and Sachin is my favorite player as a result as well.
I was born on the day India won the World Championship of Cricket, on the exact day, right?
Wow.
So there is a story that my father tells that when he heard that India won the match, and then he came to the hospital and then figured out that I was also born. So he connects my cricket fandom to that day especially. But later I found that I was born in the morning and India won in the afternoon. So I realized that the story my father told was
those are minor details which you should not let those details come in front of a nice story like this. I'm just surprised that you were not named Ravi after Ravi Shastri.
I was also born on a Sunday, by the way. So all the more reason, but yeah.
All the more reason. Yeah. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful to have these 2 amazing teams here with us. Let's go straight into it. We're going to take a look at how this quiz is going to run. Here are the rules. We have 4 rounds of the quiz. There are 28 questions in all. 2 rounds each on passing and on the buzzer. Throughout the quiz, you get 100 points for a correct answer. There are, of course, going to be negative points on the buzzer rounds, not on the passing rounds. We will explain the rules of each round to you. We need one answer per team. You have 30 seconds to answer your direct question and 10 seconds on the pass, right? If you don't receive an answer within that time, we'll just deem it a pass and move on. Are you ready, both teams?
Yep.
All right, all the best. Let's go into round one. This is your opening over. Opening overs can sometimes be scary, but sometimes you can score a lot of runs as well. So let's see how you face up this opening over. In this opening over, we're going to show you a grid with 7 topics. The topics are kind of very lateral clues to the questions that you might get. In alternating order, starting from Curious Minds, you get to choose 3 topics. You get 100 points on the direct and on the pass. Please remember 30 seconds on the direct, 10 seconds on the pass, and no negative marking whatsoever. And here is the grid with the topics for round 1 opening spell. The topics in front of screen: stand-in, home ground, style quotient, Indian pride, borrowed, MOM, and wonder. What would you like to pick, Curious Minds?
We'll pick home ground.
You'll pick home ground? All right, here is your home ground question. Yorkshire moved base to Headingley, Leeds in 1903 through the influence of Lord Hawke. Which ground was their base earlier, ironically chosen for its clean air and good light?
We'll say oval.
You'll say the Oval. Okay, the Oval was chosen, the Oval in London before they moved to Headingley in Leeds. That's a nice guess, but that's not correct. It passes to Nat and team.
We will guess the Bramall Lane.
The Bramall Lane. And why the Bramall Lane?
That's in the Sheffield area in Yorkshire, and it also hosted the Ashes around that time.
Okay.
And I'm guessing, since cricket happened there and it's around the vicinity of Yorkshire, we're guessing Bramall.
It's around the vicinity of Yorkshire. You need to know, you seem to know the Yorkshire map really well. Bramall Lane is the right answer. Very well done, Nat and team. That's sweetly driven through the covers for 4. Bramall Lane is right. And the ironic fact is that there was an Ashes test that was held there, like you said. But immediately after, they had to actually interrupt a test match because the conditions with the pollution and smoke around because of all the factories in Sheffield was so bad, and Bramall Lane ceased to become a venue after that. Ironically, Yorkshire had originally chosen that because of its clean air, but then moved to Headingley, Leeds. Off to a great start, Nat and team, with Bramall Lane, 100 points to you. What would you like?
We'll take style quotient.
You'll take style quotient. Seen more frequently in football, Ashwell Prince once wore a peculiarly stylized jersey number. The number he wanted to wear had been retired after Hansi Cronje's death, which led him to do this. What was the number exactly on his back? That's the style quotient.
5 plus 0.
5 plus 0. Okay, and why would it be 5 plus 0?
So Hansi Cronje wore 5.
Okay.
Since the jersey was retired, and as a tribute to him, we put it as 5 plus 0.
And you see a lot of footballers doing that as well sometimes?
On occasion, yeah.
On occasion, yes. On this occasion, you're absolutely right. That's another 100 points. It's 5 plus 0. That's what the jersey number said, as a kind of tribute to Hansi Cronje, who had the jersey number 5, and that jersey was permanently retired by the South African Cricket Board after Cronje's death. And Ashwell Prince wanted to pay tribute to him, so he chose the jersey number which read 5 plus 0. Wonderful answer. Another 100 points to Nat and team. Curious Minds, it's now your turn to pick a topic again.
We'll take borrowed.
You'll take borrowed. All right. Simple and straightforward question. Rohit Sharma borrowed which player's bat to score his maiden international 50 against South Africa in the 2007 T20 World Cup. This player has had the distinction of appearing in all IPL seasons till date. You seem to know the answer. What's the answer?
Dinesh Karthik.
Dinesh Karthik. Excellent answer there. Dinesh Karthik is absolutely right. The recently retired Dinesh Karthik, whom we are now seeing in a different avatar in cricket, he lent his bat to Rohit Sharma, and that's how Rohit Sharma's amazing journey at the T20 World Cups began, right from the inaugural T20 World Cup in 2007. Dinesh Karthik is right, and that puts Curious Minds on the board with 100 points. Nat and team.
We'll take Indian pride.
We'll take Indian pride. Indian pride it is. Here's your Indian pride question. If it is Sajida Shah of Pakistan in women's ODIs, Romalia of Indonesia in women's T20 internationals, who is it in women's tests since 1995? What's the answer?
We'll guess Diana Adulji.
Diana Adulji. And what do you think the record is?
Just shooting in the dark.
Just shooting in the dark with Diana Adulji. That's incorrect. Passes to the curious minds.
I'll guess Neetu David.
Neetu David. And why?
Most wickets in an innings. As in she took a 9-wicket all, I remember.
Absolutely right, curious minds. Great answer there. Neetu David, best bowling figures in an innings. Sajida Shah holds it for ODIs, Romalia for T20Is, but it is of great pride that an Indian cricketer holds this for a test innings. Neetu David, the slow left-arm bowler, took 8 for 53 against England in November 1995, and that is still the record for the best innings bowling performance in women's test. Great answer. You've evened the match up with that 100 points, curious minds. And now your last pick for the round.
We'll take man of the match.
Man of the match. Okay. M-O-M. Shadab Kabir played 3 one-day internationals for Pakistan in 1996. He got a duck in all 3 of them and never bowled. He, however, has won Player of the Match honor against England. How did this happen?
So in this match, every player was awarded man of the match. So he was the part of the team, and hence he was also awarded the man of the match.
Which team?
Pakistan.
The Pakistan team. You're saying the entire team
Team
was
was.
given man of the match? Great answer. Great answer, curious minds. Absolutely right. So this was a very unique occasion where they couldn't just pick one player to be player of the match. So they decided to award it to the whole team. And by virtue of being in the team, he won the player of the match award. I mean, sometimes it's what you do is not as important as who you are with when you do it. So that's a good 100 points to curious minds. And we come to the last question of the opening spell to Nat and team.
We'll go with Wonder.
You'll go with Wonder. Okay. Who is the only player to open the batting and bowling in the only test that he has played, which was against England in 2001? He also hit the winning runs in that game.
Iqbal Siddiqui.
Iqbal Siddiqui is absolutely right. Well done on Iqbal Siddiqui. It is Iqbal Siddiqui. Made his debut against England and opened the batting and the bowling and ended up hitting the winning runs. Great answering there on Iqbal Siddiqui. That was a fast and furious opening spell, I must say. Both teams seeming in fine form and fettle. At the end of the first round, here are the scores. The scores are as follows. Team Curious Minds on 300 points. Nat and team also on 300 points. So we have a very even contest going on with both teams tied at the same score at the end of the first round. Round 2 coming up shortly, which is a power play. Let's take a look at the rules. We have 8 questions on the buzzer. All your answers are connections that we will need. Some images will come up on the screen, other questions will be read out. You get plus 100, minus 100 on the buzzer. If you've buzzed and you get it wrong, the other team automatically has a chance to attempt the question, but it's still on a plus 100, minus 100. You can then choose to say either you can pass or you can attempt the question for plus 100, minus 100. The quiz is brought to you by HDFC Life. And the very concept of life insurance is that you pay a small cost, but you protect yourself against a big risk or an unforeseen event that might happen. We're bringing that same principle into this quiz. HDFC Life presents Jeet Ka Insurance. So you have a HDFC Life insurance card with you. After you've hit the buzzer, if you aren't very sure of the answer, you can play this card once during this round across the 8 questions. If you play this card, you are indicating that you're not very sure, so you have to pay a small cost, which is 20 points, so you get a maximum of 80 points, but you protect against a very big downside, so you lose only 20 points. You can play the card once during this round, either on a question that you have buzzed directly or on a question that's come to you as a pass that you're playing as the second team, but you are allowed only one attempt. Right, let's get started, shall we, with the power play after that very exciting opening spell. First question, we're going to show you an image for question 1 with 3 cricketers over there. You have to tell us what specific statistical feat connects these 3 cricketers. What specific statistical feat? Team 2, Nat and team?
Played 99 tests.
That is incorrect. You're going to get a minus 100 for that, Nat and team. Played 99 tests is not correct. Do you want to try Curious Minds?
Will not try.
You won't try? All right, so that question ends there with Nat and team getting negative. The three players you see on screen are Vijay Merchant, Vijay Manjrekar and Mohammad Azharuddin. All of them scored 100 in their last test. That's what we wanted, 100 in their last test. Okay, next question. I'm going to be reading out the question, so listen to me carefully. Which cricketer in the opposition was the only player common to the two tests where Brian Lara scored 375 and 400? Okay, Nat and team.
Graham Thorpe.
Graham Thorpe is an excellent answer, Nat and team. Graham Thorpe of England. Brian Lara broke the test record for the highest individual score in an innings with 375 against England. Thorpe was there in that test and made 9 in the only innings he batted. And then some years later, Lara followed that up with 400 also against England. Thorpe made 10 and 23 not out in that test match. So it was Graham Thorpe. Nat and team pulling their negative back. Question number 3. What connects the following nicknames? Virgil for Michael Vaughan, Freddie for Andrew Flintoff and Bumble for David Lloyd with regard.
We'll say these are from characters, fictional characters and stuff like that.
I'll need a better answer.
From comic characters.
That is incorrect. That will be a -100 to team 1. Team 2, do you want to try?
We'll take a chance. We'll
Okay.
say these are television characters.
That is the right answer. These are all television characters. A character called Virgil Tracy from the show Thunderbirds because Vaughan looks like him. Freddie Flintstone, of course, from the Flintstones. And the Bumbleys was a kid show after whom David Lloyd gets his nickname. Great answering, Nat and team, +100. Next question. We're going to be showing you 2 cricketers. They are 2 of 3 women to have captained in more than 100 ODIs. Who is the third who will complete this list? There are only 3 women who have captained their countries in more than 100 ODIs. 2 are seen here. Who is the third? Last 5 seconds. Nobody is going for it. We're closing the question. The people you see there are Mithali Raj, who's captained India in 155 ODIs, Charlotte Edwards, who's captained England in 117 ODIs. The only other person who's captained her team in more than 100 ODIs is Belinda Clark, who's captained her team in 101 ODIs. Belinda Clark. All right. Next question. 3 cricketers on screen again. What peculiarity in one-day internationals connects them? What peculiarity in one-day internationals connects these 3 cricketers? Neither team is going for it. The last call. Team's worried about the negatives. And that's the end of time. I'm sorry, nobody going for that again. The cricketers there, of course, are Mohinder Jimmy Amarnath, Daryl Cullinan, and Chamu Chibaba of Zimbabwe. All of them have been out handling the ball in ODIs. That's what we wanted. In fact, Jimmy Amarnath, of course, has the unique distinction of being given out obstructing the field as well. But these are the 3 people who have been out handling the ball. Next question coming up, nothing on screen. Connect these 3 cricketers with an international tournament's name. Ralph Legal, Kotar Ramaswamy, Asif Karim. Okay, team 2?
Davis Cup.
Davis Cup is absolutely right. That's a great answer. Ralph Legal was a cricketer but also represented for the West Indies and represented the British Caribbean in the Davis Cup tennis tournament. Kotar Ramaswamy, of course, played cricket for India and represented India at the Davis Cup, and same with Asif Karim for Kenya. I think you just got beaten on the buzzer on that one. You knew that as well. So that's a +100 to Nat and team. 2 questions remaining. Here's your next one. What connects Jim Laker's 19-wicket test haul and a first in Sachin Tendulkar's batting career? What connects? Okay, team 2 have gone for it.
We'd like to play the HDFC Life Insurance card.
You're playing the HDFC Life Insurance card, all right. What's your guess?
We are saying both happened at Manchester. Sachin's first test century and Jim Laker's 19 wicket haul.
At which ground?
Old Trafford, Manchester.
That's the right answer. Well done, Nat and team. Both these happened at the Old Trafford ground in Manchester. Jim Laker's 19-wicket haul, very famous, and Sachin Tendulkar's first Test century, both happened at Old Trafford, Manchester. So you played the HDFC Life Insurance card, so you get 80 points on that one. Nat and team making 80 points. And here is the last question of our rather riveting power play round. You're going to see 3 cricketers on screen. What feat connects them with regard to Test cricket? Okay, team 1, Qurious Minds. What's your answer? You have to give us an answer now. Need an answer, Qurious Minds.
We'll take HDFC Life Insurance.
Okay, you're playing the HDFC Life Insurance card just in the nick of time.
I will say all 3 were groundsmen at various grounds.
All 3 were groundsmen as various grounds. That's a good try, but very good that you played the HDFC Life Insurance card. Your answer is incorrect, but you lose only 20 points. Minus 20 to Qurious Minds. Nat and team, immediately, do you have an answer? No, we'll pass you. The 3 people you see there are Keith Miller, Intikhab Alam and Nathan Lyon. All of them took a wicket of the first ball they bowled in Test cricket. Wicket of the first ball of their careers. That was a bit of a tough one there, but very well done by both the teams. 2 rounds done. We are at a halfway point in this quiz. After the power play round, time to take a look at the scoreboard. Team 1, Qurious Minds on 180 points. Team 2, Nat and team on 580 points. Long way to go in this quiz. 2 rounds done, 2 more to go.
जीत का इंश्योरेंस करने के तो कई तरीके हैं, पर लाइफ में जीत की गारंटी करने के लिए HDFC लाइफ का क्लिक टू प्रोटेक्ट सुपर ही काम आएगा।
Round 3 is here, and round 3 is the middle overs. The middle overs is where you have to, in a match, you have to consolidate. This is a chance for you to score some runs and accumulate the total before you go towards the slog overs at the end. So round 3 middle overs, we will have a grid, but this time with 7 flags. Each team again gets to choose 3 topics alternatingly, but we'll start this time with Nat and team. Questions will in some way be related to the country that you choose. You get the same plus 100 on both a direct and a pass, and there is no negative marking in this round. So let's go and take a look at the grid with the flags for the middle overs. All right, those are your 7 flags. You have India, Afghanistan, Nepal, West Indies, Brazil, Australia, and South Korea. Nat and team, what would you like to pick?
We'll pick Brazil.
You'll pick Brazil. Okay, trying to be innovative over there and picking Brazil. Here is your question on Brazil. A certain international recognition that cricket has received is said to have major impact in Brazil, with up to $500,000 in additional spending possibly being made available. A media outlet summed up the situation with the words 500 grand. What word fills up the blank in this quote?
5 rings. So we will say rings because
5 rings, yeah, 500 grand. Why?
Because cricket has been included in the 2028 LA Summer Olympics, and as a result, the Brazil government has given the grant to grow the game.
Cricket's been included in the Olympics, so the Brazil government has given $500,000, and so you're saying rings. Fantastic answer, Nat and team. Cracker of an answer there. Very well done. Very clever pick as well on a country like Brazil, which is not known for its cricket. But now with the Olympics movement adopting cricket, Brazil government has decided to pump in a lot of money. Very well answered. You don't get 500 grand, but you get 100 points for sure, Nat and team. Qurious Minds.
We'll pick Nepal.
You want to pick Nepal? All right, Nepal. In 2014, the Cricket Association of Nepal appointed B. Ghimire, Ghimire, initial B, B. Ghimire as its CEO. A former college cricketer, Ghimire had experience in Formula 1 and the Premier League before taking up the role of CEO of the Nepal Cricket Association. This appointment was almost definitely a first among all ICC members. Why?
We'll say this is the first woman CEO of a cricket.
That is a great answer, Curious Minds. Very well worked out there. B. Gimire is Bhavana Gimire. She is the first woman possibly to head the National Cricket Association of an ICC member country. She was involved with multiple sports before, but this is the first time a woman got to head a cricket association of an ICC member. Great answer, Curious Minds. 100 points to you. Back to you, Nat and team. What would you like to pick this time?
There's a doubt whether that is New Zealand or Australia.
That is Australia. we should have put in a layer of points for people to first guess the flags, I think. But that's all right.
We'll pick Australia.
You want to pick Australia? All right. Listen to this question carefully. This Englishman was an amateur cricketer for Middlesex. He also doubled as an amateur in another field. His cricketing background made his subjects very comfortable around him. What is he chiefly remembered for today? Something that first appeared in 1905 in a book titled Great Batsmen, Their Methods at a Glance. You have 30 seconds.
What is he first came? What is he chiefly remembered for? Yeah, great batsman.
10 seconds remaining, Nat and team, for an answer.
We'll say this is John when and he started the first bowling machine.
He discovered or came up with the first bowling machine. All right, nice try, nice try. Curious Minds?
We'll say this is the origin of leg glance.
The leg glance, okay. What about it?
So basically, Ranjit Singh ji is the first one to play leg glance.
Okay.
So since there is glance in the title of the book, we thought it was leg glance.
It was leg glance. Okay, nice thinking again. Incorrect. Both teams kind of missing out this bouncer. This gentleman's name is George Beldam. He was also an amateur photographer and he took this very famous photo of Victor Trumper. This is the very famous Victor Trumper photograph that you would have seen subsequently in several books, book covers, magazines and so on. George Beldam took that Victor Trumper photograph and that came out first in 1905. That was a toughie. All right, let's go to Curious Minds.
We'll say Afghanistan.
Afghanistan. One of the main reasons for the rise in popularity of cricket in Afghanistan was otherwise a tragedy for the country. This is how a lot of their youngsters became familiar with the game. What exactly explains this? Yes, Curious Minds.
We'll say basically there were Taliban attacks in Afghanistan.
All right.
So most of the people have to go as refugees to Pakistan and border of Pakistan, and hence they were introduced to cricket because cricket is very famous in Pakistan, and hence
so they fearing the attacks, they went off to Pakistan
Most of the people
as
went,
refugees.
yeah.
That's where they learned their cricket. You said everything right except that it was the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan and not the Taliban attack. But that is a great answer, Curious Minds. Very well done. The invasion of Afghanistan led to a lot of refugees, like you rightly said, going across the border to Pakistan. That's where they picked up their cricket. It's a nice bit of history trivia over there in a cricket question, and very well answered by Curious Minds, who notch up another 100 points. All right, Nat and team, your final pick for the round.
We'll pick India.
You'll pick India? All right. The India-Pakistan test in Bengaluru in 2007 was a high-scoring affair, with the match eventually being drawn. Why did India enter the record books in this test match? Why is this match in the record books? Nat and team.
We will say this is Ganguly's only double 100 in Test cricket, and that happened.
Only double 100 in Test cricket, not what we're looking for. Yes, Curious Minds.
So all the players bowled in the match.
All the players bowled in the match, not what we're looking for either. India conceded 76 extras in one of the innings in this match, and that is the most extras conceded till date in a test innings. And that was by India, and that's why this match is in the record books. It's not a particularly great reason, but this is a nice bit of trivia that India ended up conceding 76 extras in one of the innings. All right, last question of round 3, the middle overs. Are you picking South Korea or West Indies?
We'll go with South Korea.
You're going the counterintuitive way and picking South Korea. All right, who would have thought that West Indies will be the remaining one in this grid? Both teams trying to do a little bit of game theory and strategy over there. Here's your question. At the 2014 Asia Cup cricket tournament, South Korea fared poorly. Media reports noted that one reason was that their batsmen were struggling with basic things, starting with their stance. Why was this the case?
So basically, they hired baseball players. And they put in cricket team and asked them to play cricket, and hence they were struggling with stance and.
They hired baseball players and put them into the cricket team. They just started playing cricket a few months ago. Absolutely right. What an answer, Curious Minds. That's a fantastic answer. That South Korean team was hurriedly made up largely of baseball players. So you found the batsmen having very peculiar stance and really struggling with how to play the game of cricket. But these guys know how to play this game because they've got themselves 100 points, Curious Minds. 3 rounds done in this quiz. A Super 8 episode of HDFC Life presents Jeet Ka Insurance Cricket Quiz. Time to take a look at our scorecard. Wow, this is a very close quiz now. Curious Minds on 480, Nat and team on 680. A mere 200 points separating the two teams. One of these two teams will book their slot for the semi-final. We're going to find out which the team is as we go straight into round 4, our slog overs. The final round of this quiz is here. These are the slog overs where the questions will come fast and furious, and you will have to bat your way through it. 8 questions on the buzzer. Nothing appears on screen. Plus 100, minus 100 on the buzzer. And like in round 2, you can use your HDFC Life Insurance card once during this round after you've pressed the buzzer for plus 80, minus 20. Ready both teams? Very close contest. Here we go. Question number 1. India's first away test win was recorded at which ground in 1968? Nat and team?
Eden Park, Auckland.
Eden Park, Auckland is incorrect. Minus 100 to Nat and team. Curious Minds, are you going for it?
No.
No. All right. Minus 100 to Nat and team. The correct answer is Dunedin. Dunedin? Question number 2. Which Indian great's autobiography is titled One More Over? Yes. Curious Minds.
Erapalli Prasanna.
Erapalli Prasanna, that is the right answer. Erapalli Prasanna, the great spin bowler for India and a member of the famed Indian spin quartet. Erapalli Prasanna's autobiography is titled One More Over. 100 points to Curious Minds. Third question. In 1991, who became the first man to lead South Africa in ODIs? Yes, Curious Minds.
We'll say Kepler vessels.
Is incorrect. That gets you a minus 100 on Kepler vessels. Are you trying Nat and team?
We are going with Clive Rice.
Clive Rice, that's the correct answer. That is Clive Rice. So minus 100 to Curious Minds, plus 100 to Nat and team on Clive Rice. Question number 4. In which city will you find a ground named Mahinda Rajapaksa International Cricket Stadium? Okay, Nat and team, answer?
Hambantota.
Is a great answer. Hambantota is absolutely right. Hambantota in Sri Lanka has the Mahinda Rajapaksa International Cricket Stadium. Hambantota is a terrific answer. Here is question number 5. When they beat Kenya by 172 runs in the inaugural ICC World T20 in South Africa, which team recorded the highest margin of...
We'll say Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka, that's the right answer. The full question was which team recorded the highest margin of victory in a T20 World Cup? Sri Lanka making 260 for 6. beat Kenya, who made 88. So 172 runs, that remains the highest margin of victory till today. That's plus 100 to Curious Minds. The quiz is getting really close. We have 3 questions to go. Let's see how this quiz is going to swing. Question number 6. Who was the player of the match in the 1987 World Cup final held at the Eden Gardens? Curious Minds, answer please. Need an answer?
David Boone. David Boone.
Is the right answer. Just in the nick of time, David Boone, who made 75 of 125 balls, was the player of the match. From Australia, who narrowly beat England to record their first ever World Cup win. It happened in Eden Gardens in Calcutta. 2 questions remaining. Penultimate question. The 1996 Test match at Lord's between England and India saw the debuts of Sourav Ganguly and Rahul Dravid. It was also the last Test match. Okay?
Dicky Bird.
The full question was, it was also the last Test match of which umpire? Dicky Bird is the right answer. Taking a big risk there, not letting me finish the question, but preempted it right. Dicky Bird is correct. And with that, we come to the very last question of this quiz. 2 amazing teams with us here in a neck-on-neck contest that's going on. At this moment, the 2 teams are tied. We're going into the last question. This is like, you know, the last ball of a super over or the last ball of the innings, as you might see it. Play carefully. Plus 100, minus 100. Who captained the Australian women's cricket team to a gold medal in the 2022 Birmingham Commonwealth Games? Curious Minds, answer? Need an answer. Need an answer now, Curious Minds.
Alicia. I'll say.
Need an answer now.
McLennan.
What's your final answer?
We'll say Alisa Healy.
Minus 100. Minus 100. Nat and team.
Not
taking a chance.
Are you going to take a chance?
No.
You are not going to take a chance. Alisa Healy is incorrect. The correct answer to this question is Meg Lanning. It is Meg Lanning, and my word, what a quiz we've had. That was absolutely nail-biting. Went down to the very last question. Minus 100 on that last question to Curious Minds. And with that, time to take a look at the final scores of this episode of a Super 8 game in HDFC Life presents Jeet Ka Insurance Cricket Quiz. Team 1, Curious Minds, a fantastic team of Roshan and Hariharan, finishing on 680 points. And after that last question, Mitra Varun and Ramesh Natarajan, Nat and team qualified to the semi-finals with 780 points. What a contest, really well done, absolutely close. There was nothing really to pick between the teams, but only one of them can go through. And so we are going to see Nat and team once again in one of our semi-final episodes, but extremely well played, Curious Minds. Very close, even that last answer you had it, but you chose to change it. That's how life goes, but extremely well played, and I'm sure you'll be very proud of yourselves. Thank you both teams for playing an amazing contest in the spirit of the game. Congratulations. Very well done. Congratulations.
So we have our team members from the cricket quiz. Let's know how they felt. Sir, hi, welcome. So how was your experience in the cricket quiz?
Far more nervous than what we expected. If there was a heart rate monitor, it would have just gone through the roof, considering how nervous we were in the final rounds. But thankfully, we were able to come out the right side at the end of it.
It was very fun. It was a close game and we had all fun.
Well, that's quite crisp. Well, I'll ask you a few questions now regarding the cricket. So the first one is, if India has to ensure their wins in World Cup, what do you think they should do?
I think they just have to play smart. In this World Cup, clearly runs are at a premium. So they just have to play carefully and ensure that they get into a reasonable total and then defend those. Or when they are bowling first, just be conscious about not conceding too much.
Or as Azhar once said in the past, we just have to bat well, bowl well, and field well to win. So
Well, that's a very good answer.
Maybe they access the pitch conditions better than like usual, and stick to the playing 11 and not chop teams who are playing 11 often.
Wow, that's a very technical answer. You're a very a person who really watches cricket quite deeply. Going to the next question. If India is supposed to be in finals, which is the other team, foreign team, would you vouch for to be against them?
I would say USA, because they'll give it up to their Matrubhumi, I think.
I would prefer Afghanistan. I think they're doing quite well in the tournament, and I think it's a great story, so I'd like them to come.
Well, that's quite two different perspectives out of it. Who should India consider as their next wicket keeper in the next match? Either Rishabh Pant or Sanju Samson.
I would say Rishabh Pant anyway, because he's good at keeping and he picks right calls during the DRS as well. So it's a bonus as well. So I would say Rishabh Pant.
The last question. Which underdog team right now do you think is doing really well in the World Cup?
So they're not underdogs, but South Africa have been coming on the right side of very close contests, which has not been historically seen. So hopefully they'll be able to carry their form forward.
Any perception that you carry right now?
I think Bangladesh, I am surprised by how well they are doing. Bangladesh lost to the US in a one-day T20 series before the World Cup started. So I think the fact that they have made it in the Super 8s is quite the achievement. So I think they are the underdogs who seem to be doing well.
Well, one question that I would like to ask you related to your strategies for the game. You had a chance to use HDFC Life card. Why didn't you use it? You were neck to neck in finales.
It was a close game, and we want to go aggressive, and hence we didn't use it. So that was the idea behind the strategy. Probably we should have taken it and we should have tied or something.
Well, better luck next time, we always say. Thank you so much. It was lovely interacting with you all. Thank you.